The deepest hole ever drilled into this planet is just 23 centimeters wide, barely wider than a dinner plate. Yet it took 24 years, an entire empire's resources, and the lives of countless engineers to make it. And when they finally stopped drilling, it wasn't because of money. It wasn't because of time. The Earth itself fought back. The year is 1970. The Cold War is at full temperature. The Americans have just planted a flag on the moon. The Soviets, refusing to be beaten, point their ambitions in the opposite direction, not up, down, deep into the crust of the Earth itself, into a remote peninsula in the Russian Arctic, barely 10 kilometers from the Norwegian border, a place called Kola. And what they were attempting, no human civilization had ever tried before. The mission was simple on paper. Drill to 15 kilometers, reach the boundary between the Earth's crust and its mantle, unlock the secrets of what our planet is actually made of. What they got instead was something no science textbook had predicted, and something that to this day has never been fully explained. But before we go down that hole, we need to understand exactly what deep means, because human beings are extraordinarily bad at grasping it. Stand on a football pitch, the entire thickness of the Earth's crust beneath you, the solid shell on which all of human civilization has ever existed, is roughly the same as the thickness of a postage stamp stuck to a basketball. That is how thin our world truly is. And even with all of modern technology, with satellite navigation and supercomputers and material science beyond anything imaginable 50 years ago, we have barely scratched it. The deepest any human being has physically descended underground is roughly 4 kilometers. That is the Mponeng Gold Mine in South Africa, near the city of Carletonville. 4,000 workers descend into it every single day. The journey down takes over an hour, through triple-decked elevator cages, then cramped underground trains, then long tunnels carved through ancient rock. And at the bottom, the temperature of the surrounding rock reaches 60 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook food. Without massive refrigeration systems pumping ice slurry through the tunnels, no human could survive there for more than a few minutes. Think about that. 4 kilometers below the surface, and the planet is already trying to kill you. The pressure at those depths exceeds 10,000 pounds per square inch. The walls do not simply sit still. They breathe, they crack. Without warning, the rock face can explode inward, an event miners call a rock burst, releasing energy equivalent to a small earthquake. Workers have been killed by walls that simply cease to exist. And yet every morning, 4,000 people take that elevator ride anyway. This is as deep as a human body has ever gone. But the story doesn't end there, because machines have gone so much further. And what they found rewritten everything. When Soviet engineers began drilling at Kola in 1970, they were armed with the best geological models of the time. Models built from decades of seismic data, from the careful study of earthquake waves passing through the planet. Those models made one very specific prediction. At around 7 kilometers down, the drill would pass through a boundary layer, from granite above to basalt below, a transition called the Conrad discontinuity. Every geologist on Earth believed this to be true. It was, they thought, as established as gravity. The drill passed 7 kilometers, no basalt. The models were wrong. Instead of a transition to a denser, darker rock, the drill found something stranger. The granite below was fractured, metamorphosed, twisted and recrystallized under unimaginable pressure into something that barely resembled its surface counterpart. And moving through these ancient fractured rocks, water. Liquid water found at depths where no water should exist. It had not fallen there from the surface. It had been produced by chemical reactions deep within the rock itself, squeezed out of minerals under pressure, trapped for millions of years, pooling in fractures kilometers underground. The scientists stared at their data. Then they kept drilling. What came next was almost impossible to believe. At roughly 6.7 kilometers down, nearly 4 miles beneath the surface, the drill brought up rock samples containing fossils. Not fossils of anything complex, microscopic fossils, the remnants of 24 species of single-celled marine organisms, plankton, phytoplankton, entombed in rock that formed over 2 billion years ago, before the first animal had ever drawn breath, before the first tree had ever grown, before the first fish had ever swum. Their remains had been pressed into stone so ancient it predates almost every living thing that has ever existed on this planet. And there they were, perfectly preserved, 4 miles underground. What do you think it means that life existed this deep into the Earth's crust 2 billion years ago? Drop your answer in the comments below. The drilling mud rising from the borehole was described by engineers as boiling, not from heat alone, but from gas. Enormous quantities of hydrogen were bubbling up from far below. Along with it came helium, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, gases rising from the deep dark interior of a planet that was supposed to be nothing but inert rock. The Earth was breathing, quietly, slowly, through a 23-centimeter hole drilled into its skin. By the early 1980s, the Soviets had broken every drilling record ever set. In 1979, they passed the previous world record, a well in Oklahoma called the Bertha Rogers Hole. By 1983, they were past 12 kilometers, the deepest point any machine had ever penetrated into solid ground. The borehole was not a single straight shaft. Equipment had broken dozens of times. Drill bits had snapped in the dark. Pipes had twisted and wedged themselves in rock hundreds of meters below the surface. Each time, engineers had to drill around the obstruction, branching sideways, then resuming downward. The borehole became a branching tree of tunnels, all converging at the deepest point, a thin thread of emptiness reaching toward the mantle. Then, in the late 1980s, the planet delivered its final answer. The temperature at the drill tip reached 180 degrees Celsius, nearly double what the geological models had predicted. At that heat, the rock surrounding the borehole stopped behaving like rock. It began to behave like plastic, slow, viscous, alive. The borehole walls closed in around the drill. Metal warped, equipment failed, the hole began to seal itself. The Earth was not simply resisting, it was healing. Engineers tried for several more years to push deeper. They redesigned drill bits. They experimented with new cooling systems. None of it worked. The rock at those depths existed in a state that no engineering on the surface had been designed to handle. In 1992, drilling finally stopped for good. The Kola Superdeep Borehole reached a final depth of 12,262 meters, 40,230 feet, and could go no further. The Soviet Union itself had collapsed the previous year, and with it, the funding and the will. The research station slowly emptied. Equipment was stripped away. The borehole was capped with a welded metal seal. Today, if you visit the site in the Kola Peninsula, you will find a rusting metal cap bolted to a concrete slab, a small plaque, and nothing else. No museum, no monument to one of the most ambitious scientific projects in human history. Just a sealed hole on the ground, barely visible among the Arctic scrub. And here is the thing that should stop you cold. That hole, the deepest thing humanity has ever built, reaches only 0.2% of the way to the center of the Earth. Not 2%, not 20%, 0.2. If the Earth were the size of a regulation basketball, the Kola borehole would be a scratch so shallow you could not feel it with your fingertip. We have mapped the surface of Mars with centimeter precision. We have sent probes beyond the edge of the solar system. We have looked back in time to the first light after the Big Bang. And yet the ground beneath your feet, the rock less than 15 kilometers below the street you walked on this morning, remains as alien and unreachable as the surface of another world. We do not know what lies at the boundary of the crust and the mantle. We have never seen it. We have only inferred its existence from the vibrations of distant earthquakes. The Mohorovicic discontinuity, the interface between crust and mantle, sits somewhere between 25 and 70 kilometers down, depending on where you are standing. No drill has ever reached it. No human has come within 100 kilometers of it. It might as well be on another planet. And deeper still lies the outer core, 2,900 kilometers below your feet. Liquid iron and nickel, spinning at temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, generating the magnetic field that shields every living thing on Earth from the lethal radiation of space. Without it, the atmosphere would have been stripped away billions of years ago. Life would never have formed. You would not be here. That magnetic field is generated by something we cannot see, cannot reach, and cannot fully explain. A churning ocean of liquid metal, 5,000 kilometers across, turning silently in the dark, keeping everything alive. Somewhere around 5,100 kilometers down, that liquid iron transitions into something even stranger. At pressures so extreme that the atoms themselves are compressed into a crystalline lattice, locked in place by the weight of a whole planet above them. The inner core, a sphere roughly the size of the moon, hotter than the sun's surface, impossibly dense, sitting in absolute darkness at the exact center of the world you live on. You will never reach it. No machine ever built will reach it. No machine ever imagined will reach it. The deepest we have ever gone is 12 kilometers, and the planet laughed at us and closed the hole. We go to enormous lengths to convince ourselves that we understand this world. We study its surface in obsessive detail. We name every mountain, chart every river, photograph every glacier from orbit. We build cities on it, drill into it for fuel, carve tunnels through it for trains. We tell ourselves we have mastered it. But the truth is quietly different. The solid ground you trust with every step of your life is at most 70 kilometers thick, and we have never gone more than 1/5 of the way through even that thin outer shell. Below that, for nearly 6,400 kilometers, down to the very center, lies a world we have never seen, never touched, and may never understand. The deepest hole on Earth is sealed with a rusting metal cap in the Russian Arctic. The boldest attempt humanity has ever made to know its own planet, stopped by heat, by pressure, by the simple, indifferent resistance of rock. The universe has given us telescopes powerful enough to see galaxies born 13 billion years ago. But the ground beneath your feet, silent, solid, familiar, remains the deepest mystery we have never solved. If this changed how you see the world beneath you, subscribe for more hidden science and forgotten history. And if you made it this far, leave a like and tell me in the comments, what do you think we'd find if we could actually reach the mantle?